What's up, party people? Today I do the thing that we're probably not supposed to do, where I tell you all the other people you should follow other than me. But sharing is caring, right? So I definitely want to share with you who I've been inspired by lately, who I've been following on social media, what podcasts I've been listening to. I know I did a podcast video before, but this is like actors podcast, and you know, things to sign up for and stuff like that. So I feel that it is invaluable to be listening to and surrounding yourself with people who are not only like-minded in, you know, as being an artist like you, but just people who have maybe had more on-deck experience than you and can share with you their advice, because there's a lot of stuff in this business that is like, you know, pretty standard advice, but for the most part, I feel like it's always different and it's always changing. And even the videos that I have put up in the past, some things have like changed a little bit since I've put them up. You know, it's always important to be watching stuff and listening stuff that's of the moment and has been uploaded recently. It's really always changing, and everybody in this business has a different path and a different experience, and sometimes it's fun to just listen to other people's experiences, to not feel so like worried about your own path, to know there's just so many different ways and opportunities, but also there's like things you need to know that will help you get there faster. Disclaimer, none of these people or things that I'm going to talk about have asked me to talk about them, just FYI. Okay, here we go for real now. Let's start with a newsletter that I have signed up for, and I get it every Sunday night or early Monday morning in my inbox, and it lets me know all the kind of things that are going on for actors that week, and lots of inspirational stuff, lots of info on classes and things like that. It's by an actress named Jenna Doolittle. Hey Jenna. It's called Actors Rise. So I will post the link that you can click directly to sign up for the newsletter. It is mainly the newsletter that comes out every week, but then also there's a Facebook group. You can find lots of support there, lots of information. Again, it's called Actors Rise, and I will post the link. On social media, follow casting directors. Find a show that you want to be on or that you should be on. Find out who the casting director is on IMDb or on castingabout.com, and follow them on their social media. Some of them are private, most of them are public. Some of them never post, but there's a few that do post, and they actually will post really specific things that they're looking for, sometimes casting notices. I saw one yesterday where someone needed to cast an actor who has an actual artificial leg, who is a real amputee, and they had to be in a certain age range, and that's not that easy to find sometimes. So sometimes they put out a real specific breakdown, and hey, it could be you. So if you're following these people, you can submit and be like, hey, that's me, even if you don't have an agent or whatever. Don't stalk. Don't over message. Don't bombard. Be cool. There is a fine line between like reaching out and being proactive and being chill, but you know, do your best. You could direct message them if you want. Some like it, some don't. It's kind of like one of those things, like we used to send postcards to casting directors, letting them know we had like a show or something like that. They usually say it's cool to send them something or hit them up if you have something going on that you want to share. But if you're just like, hi, cast me, hi, cast me, hi, or you ask things of them that are just like not their job, like, I need help getting an agent. A good rule of thumb is if you would be annoyed by the amount of messages you're receiving by you, don't send any more. From personal experience, they mostly just don't open DMs, because I created a electronic press kit for myself, and I sent it to a bunch of casting directors via DM and kind of put a disclaimer at the beginning of the message saying like, if you hate DMs from actors, ignore it. If you are cool with it, then go ahead and proceed. And then I, sent them the PDF of my electronic press kit, and most of them didn't open it, and that's fine. I don't open a lot of my DMs. Sorry, not sorry. Side note, if you really need to reach me, I do have an email that is listed in the notes section of every video. I'm gonna give you my top 3 casting directors that I think you should be following, because they are just like fountains of information and kindness towards actors. There are some casting directors out there who just have like a deep love for actors, and God, I appreciate them. And I feel like they always put out that extra effort to reach out to actors and to let us know what's up, because aren't we all just clueless about so much? and expected to just know things. And these casting directors are like, here's the things you need to know. First up, Erica S Breem. She is at Erica S Breem Cast on Instagram. She posts stuff constantly that is helpful to you. She has, I believe she has classes. She does Q&As. Amazing. Also, Jason Kennedy, he is at Kennedy Casting. Same thing on Instagram. He posts a lot of casting notices of things, specific things he's looking for. And he also notifies whenever he's doing any kind of, like when he's being a guest on a podcast or doing any kind of Q&A. And last, Jessica Sherman, she is at jshermy.casting on Instagram. And she's another one who's just always posting a lot of stuff like Erica. I would say Erica posts the most, but Jessica Sherman does a really cool thing where you can sign up to have one-on-one, video meetings with her. So that's a big deal. If you're like, don't have rep yet, or or there's a casting director you haven't met yet, but you really want to get in their office. That's so amazing if they do opportunity like that, because we used to have casting director workshops, which are gone. It's such a crappy thing because sometimes it was the only way you could get in front of somebody and make an impression, especially if you didn't have a lot of credits to get you in a room yet. But anyway, the world is changing. Okay, now podcasts. The first podcast I want to talk about comes from Risa Braman Garcia and Steve Braun. They own the BGB studio. She's a casting director and they have an acting class studio. This is called The Acting Podcast. The Acting Podcast. How precise can you get? It's perfect for you. It is so deeply inspirational, and I find that Risa is one of those casting directors who has that love for actors that is crystal clear and goes into everything she does. And the episodes they put out, the guests they have on, go listen. Start at the beginning, start at the most recent, whatever you want to do. It's all helpful. The next one comes from the Onward Project. I don't know if you're familiar with Happier, the podcast by Gretchen Rubin, and she does books and everything. It's just like life hacks to make your life happier, to make moments happier, to make years happier, organization, how to stay on task, and just awesome stuff. But they have a side one that's hosted by her sister and her writing partner. It's Sarah Fain and Elizabeth Kraft, and they have a podcast called Happier in Hollywood. So like I said, they are two writers. Just generally, it's a really cool podcast. They are the showrunners for the new Fantasy Island reboot, and so you get to kind of hear the whole experience of creating a show through them. It's just like truly hacks for being happier in Hollywood, because it's not the happiest place sometimes. My friend Brian Norris hosts a podcast that I've talked about before called Industry Town. A lot of great guests on there, a lot of actors who are making their way up. So it's not just like celebrities that have already made their success, it's people who are currently in it. He also has coaches on there, casting directors. He hasn't put anything up since December of 2020, but there's still, I think there's 1 or 2 seasons already of really great stuff. So give that a listen. The SAG-AFTRA podcast. I have also talked about this one before. So much information to know about our union, SAG-AFTRA. If you are not already in it, you should get into it. I'm pro-union. Even after you've been in the union for over a decade, you will still have questions about stuff, about the insurance, about requirements, about residuals, like so much stuff. There's so much information, and these podcast episodes are really good about staying on like what's happening right now, what you need to know right now. So put that on your follow list on Spotify or wherever you go. And if I had drums and I knew how to play them, I would be doing a drum roll right now. Audrey Helps Actors, the podcast, the person, Audrey Moore. Currently, this girl is holding the match that has lit the flame under my butt. I'm almost like afraid to share her information with you because like a lot of you I'm sure are already following her, but once you discover her, you might be like, bye, Angie. In all seriousness, this YouTube channel sometimes is geared to those of you who are more just starting out or thinking about becoming an actor, but she has a lot of information that is, I'm learning so much. I will just say that. I am both horrified and excited about how much I don't know and how much I'm learning from this podcast. Again, it's called Audrey Helps Actors. She's on Instagram at Audrey Helps Actors. Man, she's good. I really think I'm like being helpful to actors out there and saying like, here's what to do, here's what not to do, etc., etc. She's doing it better. I'm like, there's no way for me to try to hide that or compete. Like she's awesome. She does not promote this really at all because she's cool like that, but she does offer consultation for a fee for actors where she looks at all your stuff and kind of gives you advice. That's something people have emailed me and asked me if I do. I don't, just because sometimes I feel like I'm not equipped enough to do that. But after listening to her, I really think she is. And I actually emailed her because I might need a consultation because sometimes things feel a little stuck. So I might do a consultation with Audrey and just kind of see, like, other than working my butt off, things are starting to open up a lot more. Like, what are my exact steps? Help me nail down my exact type. You know, I'm going to do a video soon where we talk about your type and your brand, or, you know, what you sell best. But sometimes I need help with that because, and oh, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I cut my hair short, which does make a difference in my casting, my type. So I kind of need to do like a little revamp and figure out exactly what headshots I need to get now and what stuff I need to have on my reel, etc. Because, you know, it's all one package. Just listen to the podcast and then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. The thing I'm most excited to share with you is this thing that Audrey does every year called Self-Tape May, where in the month of May, which she picks May because it's a traditionally slower time for actors, Self-Tape May is where you do 16 self-tapes in the month of May. I'm not going to go over the rules of it because I actually do want you to go like follow her and listen to her stuff and watch her, and there's Instagram videos that explain it and everything. But basically you tape 16 auditions, you use the hashtag SelfTapeMay. Just go do it because I'm gonna do it. I have been needing to have some sort of consistent self-tape practice that even when you're not getting auditions, you need self-tapes to not be a precious thing when they come in, because I will tell you that when I do a self-tape, I will sometimes do like 25 takes. Like a lot. It's bad because then I spend so much time watching them and editing, and it should really, like when you go to an audition, it's like 1, maybe 2 takes and you're out. This becomes like a huge time suck because I'm at home and I have the ability to do it again and again until I get it perfect. And my goal, she says that you should set a goal for your self-tape May. Mine is just to be able to give 3 takes of this self-tape and be confident that they are all different and they're all good, and just to be able to choose 1 or 2 to send to casting, and that's it. I really want to not do 25 versions of a tape anymore. So that's my goal. I'm so excited to just be held accountable. It's kind of like having a fitness trainer. Like, you could work out 3 times a week if you really wanted to, but we don't. Some of us need a personal trainer to pay so that we do it. And this is a free thing. This Self-Tape May is free. You don't pay anyone, you don't join, you just participate. I'm gonna stop talking about it. Just go to Audrey Helps Actors and find out all about it and join me in doing Self-Tape May. Sorry, I know this is short notice because May is like tomorrow or today, depending when I post this. Just go find sets of sides from shows or TV, commercial, whatever, that have aired, must have aired, and get to it. So that's it, you guys. I just wanted to share all of that with you. Always important for us to stay inspired, connected to other people in the industry. That's it. I love ya. Bye.